Alright, what's good everyone? Just want to make a quick little video about this my bike here, Kona Whoa. I put the Lauf fork on there, and I'm just gonna say this right off the bat, like I don't make any claims to be somebody that can make product reviews. You know, I'm not that guy that, I'm not some professional product reviewer of bikes. So just take everything I say with a grain of salt. But I bought this Lauf fork for my fat bike here, and I got it because I wanted to make the bike more comfortable. But after I bought it, I went in, read some reviews on Google, and a lot of stuff that people were saying is that it actually makes the bike less comfortable because there's no rebound adjustment. And some people claim to say that because of that, it makes the bike like harder to ride, makes the bike unsafe to ride. People say that the fork makes you crash. I have not found that to be the case. For me, it's made the bike better. It's made the bike lighter. I've been nothing but faster since I've got it. The bike to me is more comfortable. You know, the main reason I got it is because my elbows were bothering me, and that's why I bought it. I didn't want to buy like something that was going to add more weight, like a Bluto or anything like that. So that's why I bought this. I wanted to make the bike lighter, more manageable. And, for me, that's what it did. And you definitely, when you take it off like small little drops and jumps, you can feel the suspension working. It works fine. I've hit some pretty big jumps with it. I've gone down some pretty bumpy stuff. I have not had a problem with the rebound. So I'm not really sure what people are talking about with that. Maybe if you're at Whistler or someplace like that and you're riding like a rock garden for like a mile straight, maybe that's a problem. But I ride mostly single track in Michigan, Dragon, Cannonsburg, Merrill, places like that where it's relatively smooth. Those are smoother trails. And for me, this has been awesome. I like it. And I actually rode at Cannonsburg when it was wet, and I actually fell 3 times. And one time I fell kind of hard and put the front wheel directly into a tree. I laid it down into a tree. So that put a bunch of force this way on the fork. And I took it to the shop. They took it out for me. I'm like, I just want this thing, inspected because it's all carbon. Last thing I want is to be riding this thing. Because I do hit the jumps. I hit the drops. I'm not super advanced or anything, but like I'll hit tiny jumps and stuff like that. But last thing I want is this thing to break in half on me while I'm riding. Took it apart. They were like, oh, everything's fine. It's good to go. No issues with it. So that makes me think I'm 215 pounds roughly. That, I think it's good. I think it's good quality. Maybe in a few more years, I'll probably take it off again and just re-inspect it, just make sure everything's good there. But so far, I like it. I haven't had any issues. I think I don't know if you have a fat bike that already has a carbon fork, maybe it's not worth it. But this bike had an aluminum fork, and when I first got this and took it out of the box and held it in my hand, like it almost doesn't feel right. So it's super light, super expensive. Not for everyone. My experience is I like it. And I think at the very least, it makes the bike just a little bit more unique. And of all the bikes I've owned, this is my favorite bike I've ever ridden. And I've owned quite a few mountain bikes. And this bike honestly I didn't even want this bike. I bought this Kona Whoa because it was available. I bought it during the 2020, at the end of 2020. And almost every bike shop I called did not have a fat bike. I wanted a fat bike. Found this one. It's a large. I usually ride a medium, but I don't have any problem riding a large. I'm like 5'11". So, and I've owned other Konas in the past, and I don't know if it's the geometry of Konas or what, but every Kona I've ever owned, I've absolutely really liked. And my Kona Scrap, which was a dirt jump bike back when I was riding, more free ride style, dirt jump style, that bike like took my riding to a completely different level. And a couple of my buddies had Konas, and they loved them. So I don't know what it is about Kona. I feel like they're a little bit overpriced sometimes for what you get, but every Kona bike I've owned, I've liked. And this bike I love. I have another bike I just bought, Niner Air 9. I might make a video on that soon, but long story short, this bike I like. I think the Lauf fork was a good upgrade to it. It's $1,000. You know, if you can afford it, and $1,000 isn't taking food off your table, I say go for it. The one thing that they told me at the shop when I brought it in, they're like, "Oh, we can't believe you actually were able to get one of these forks. We've been trying to get them, we can't get them." And I was like, "Yeah, I kind of don't know if I'm even gonna like it." And they're like, "Oh, you'll be able to sell it on Marketplace, no problem." So, yeah, I think I like it. So far no problems. It seems to be working good. You know, it's subtle. It's not like night and day, but even like I don't have my other bike here. This is my wife's bike, but even with regular suspension forks, I never really feel like those do that much if you're already on a smooth trail. This I feel like, because it's so light, you know, and it gives you just a little bit, I feel like it's almost better in some ways. And I know there's some negatives, but for me, I like it. And I'm gonna stop talking right now, and hopefully I answer some questions. Hopefully I didn't leave you with more questions, but like I said, I'm not a product reviewer. You know, I'm just a guy who rides bikes and sometimes gets on here and makes a little video. So that's where I'm gonna leave it. Have a nice day.